Well, just in the last little while, a statement from Eskom confirming that Unit 1 of the Koeberg nuclear power station is now, the stoppage to that, the closing it down or the shutting it down, is going to be delayed to allow for more time to stabilize the system. Unit 1 at Koeberg provides around 950 megawatts, so call it one stage of load shedding. It was due to be shut down today. Now the statement tells us that, in fact, that will only happen on Saturday. Well, you heard just a moment ago from Grace Harding the impact of Stage 6 load shedding on restaurants. And frankly, the proper word to use is probably devastating. Happy Khambule is the Energy and Environment Manager at Business Unity South Africa. Happy, good afternoon to you. This is devastating for the restaurant industry. Is it devastating for the entire economy?
Good afternoon, Stephen, and good afternoon to all the viewers. Yes, it is devastating for not only just the restaurant industry, but also to different sectors of the economy. We've already seen the kind of impacts that it's already having on tourism, as well as on retail, because of the fact that even customers are starting to not have the confidence that the places that they want to visit, the places they want to have goods and services provided to them are going to be open or functioning.
So there must be so many companies that can't trade at all. You know, everything knocks onto itself. If you're a restaurant, you may have customers, you may not, but you also need food to serve. Now, you can't get the food that you would normally have because someone else needs electricity to make that.
Yeah, so I think when we go through the initial stages of load shedding, the impact is is not as severe. I mean, it's quite severe, but it's not as severe as you go into the higher stages. Now, the higher stages require much longer off times, and then secondly, they become more erratic. So with the erratic nature of load shedding schedules now, what we are finding is that companies and businesses can't plan for the outage that they're going to get, and then in that case they can't actually make other contingency measures that would allow for them to continue doing as they need to do. And that's the scary part, is that with all the mitigation measures that companies and businesses are doing, it's becoming almost impossible to actually affect them because of the erratic nature of load shedding.
We must be losing jobs, hey, Happy?
Yes, we are losing jobs. I think what we are seeing a lot more is that because of the lack of sustained productivity, people are being asked to either work less hours or are being asked to not come back to work up until a time where there is more power or there's a reliability of supply. We're hoping, and at least with the numbers from the most recent quarter, which was 1.6% of growth in the economy, that we are starting to see that not only small, medium enterprises, but large companies are starting to find ways not to just do mitigation, but to find substitutes for municipal and Eskom power, because that is one of the ways in order to secure yourself from this devastating impact of load shedding.
Gwede Mantashe, the Minister of Energy, now Eskom doesn't come under him. I don't know if you've seen the quote attributed to him by News 24 today, but he is quoted as saying, Eskom, by not attending to load shedding, is actively agitating for the overthrow of the state. He says, if I've understood this correctly, that this kind of load shedding has a bigger impact and is worse for people than state capture. How do you see that statement?
Oh, I think Minister Mantashe is probably, and I don't want to say I'm interpreting words differently. I think he's privy to information that most people aren't privy to. So maybe that's the first point of call. But I think it's a bit reckless to put those kinds of words out there in the public, because we have to be honest. The situation in Eskom has been a long time coming, and what we need is for people to come together and to say, hey, how do we make sure that we keep Eskom going, but also we make sure that we are addressing the primary problem. Eskom has already communicated to everyone beginning of the year, even after the president stated through his president's plan on the 25th of July, that actually things are going to get much worse than before they get better, because we've got long legacy failures that have resulted to us, for us to get to this particular point. So I think statements like that aren't helpful. They create a lot more confusion as well as a lot more animosity than we need. We need our political principles to come in and give us some direction and some certainty that we're finding a solution. And then on top of that, to reassure us that we're not going down a spiral that's going to lead to the kinds of end destinations that the minister is referring to. Statements like that are not helpful for industry, business, or society at all.
So we have a lot going on. I mean, Pravin Gordhan, the minister, he's the Minister of Public Enterprises, so Eskom comes under him, not the Energy Minister. Maybe one day we need to sort that out. But anyway, for now, he says that there may be an element of sabotage to this load shedding. Now, earlier this week, Professor Samson Mampwedi, I'm sure you know him, Happy. He is I think quite well-respected professor of energy and sustainable energy studies at the University of Stellenbosch, also made the point that sabotage may be responsible for this. Now, I don't work in an Eskom power plant. I have no idea. The fact is that people, serious people who play a role in government believe sabotage is responsible. That, to me, indicates we have major problems.
Yeah, we have major problems outside of just Eskom being sabotaged or instances of sabotage being reported. We've already seen as well cases that have been lodged with the police, as well as prosecutions that are in the sense or in the realm of charges around sabotage. So it's not something that is unknown. It is really the degree to which it is embedded in Eskom, and to what extent is all of load shedding a result of sabotage. So I think maybe we do need to get to a point where all the cards are placed on the table and South Africa is brought into full confidence as to what's going on, without jeopardizing, of course, the investigations that are happening. But I think even just with Eskom, it's not. Just with sabotage, it's not just Eskom. We've also already seen it with other types of network infrastructure, where not only our rail, but also our roads and different kinds of infrastructure has been sabotaged before for particular ends, whether it's for people to get more money out of the state by being the ones who have preferred to procure or to tender for these things, or to run home a particular message of incompetence, or that they do not like a particular leader in place. So it's there. It's just that we aren't able to arrest it in time in order to ensure that people feel that there is due recourse and due justice when some things like this happen. So we need to start to see people in orange and overalls, and we need to start seeing convictions on those who are touted to either be doing sabotage or acts of treason, because these are national key points and we need to be protecting them.
Happy Khambule, thank you very much indeed. Energy and Environment Manager at Business Unity South Africa. Really appreciate the time.